Welcome to the Chris Clark Podcast Show. We got a great show for y'all today. We are talking about faith and fitness. We have Rich and Yisell White here with us. We are in studio. So if y'all hear me sound a little different, that's because we at the gym. We ain't working out. We just gonna talk. But listen, before we get started, I need y'all to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Chris Clark Comedy, Snapchat, and Twitter, and the new social app Clubhouse at Comic Chris Clark. And if you forget all that, just go to my website, chrisclarkcomedy.com, sign up for the newsletter. All my social media links are on there. Look, y'all know for the month of February, we are looking out for small businesses. So this small business is dear to my heart. I love it so much that it's mine. Chris Clark Photo. To capture the moments for a lifetime of memories with true professionalism, from birthdays to weddings to personal photo shoots. Call 856-516-1715 for a free estimate. Chris Clark Photo. It's all about the angle. Listen, still the month of February, so we're gonna give out a Black History fact that you may or may not know. Spark plugs. Spark plugs was invented by a black man named Edmund Berger. Edmund invented the spark plugs in 1839. So when you're driving your car, think about Edmund Berger. All right, we here with Rich and Yisell White. We are going to talk about faith and fitness. Rich and Yisell are owners and head instructors of FitX Training right here in Millville, New Jersey, and they're also believers of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Put your hands together for Rich and Yisell White. Rich, G, how y'all doing? Y'all all right?
Blessed, man. Appreciate you coming in. Thank you for this opportunity.
Good. I'm glad to have y'all. So let the people know, who are G and Rich White? How did that story begin?
I was his first client.
Oh, wow. Really? Oh, wow.
That's a G and a Rich fun fact right there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, first
client.
I walked into a gym and I was inquiring about training because I felt lost and I didn't know how to use not one piece of equipment. And I was like, do you offer personal training here? And they were like, yeah, I'll give you his phone number and I'll reach out to him and he can contact you as well. I was like, all right, cool. His name is Rich White. So I'm like, okay. So Rich White is a very old name.
Yeah.
So I'm over here, when he contacted me, he was like, oh, just confirm me for tomorrow. I'm over here, expecting this older, old man that's like has years of experience in the fitness industry. And, I walked in the gym and then it's like looking, he was sitting and it's like, oh, I was like, oh, hi. So, yeah. But it just, a beautiful friendship flourished first above anything.
Nice.
We became very, very close friends. I learned a lot with fitness, getting back into, with God, back in the right steps with God. So, it was all in the right direction. Just starting my fitness journey, how everything just came together. So.
Great. Rich, that's your story. You sticking to it?
I'm gonna stick to that story. Happy wife, happy life. But G was my first client. My background with fitness, obviously, I was a professional athlete prior to starting out with training. I've always had an experience with training. I've been training since I was 8. Did some martial arts from 6 to 8. Played football all the way up until Lehigh Valley Steelhawks in PA. And I did some security work on the side out in Atlantic City. So then from there, I've always loved personal training. I just never took the test. And I was pushed and persuaded to do that because I was always in the gym. And little do you know, I met the love of my life and training. So it worked out. God really worked on my behalf.
Wow, nice. All right, so you guys, G was your first client. What was your first reaction when you seen her? We got to get the love story first.
Yeah, okay.
We got to get the love story.
Yeah. So at the time, I was a newbie, very professional. I had my glasses on, my notebook in hand, clipboard, shirt tucked in, and I almost lost.
Buzz cut.
Buzz cut. Yeah, I had the skin tight. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. I had the skin tight fade, and my first impression of G was, wow. This is how we're going to start this. So, but the main thing was we kept it professional.
Okay.
It was always professional. I never went over that boundary of, even if I did somewhat, was attracted to her, I never stepped over that boundary. I kept it professional.
Okay.
But, when it's your soulmate and God has a certain person for you, And all it took was one look in the middle of one of our workouts.
Yeah.
And,
like we found each other. We were, going through tough situations in our lifetime, in our in our life. So, I think we found each other at the perfect time.
Good.
Because
I say two broken pieces.
Yeah.
Two broken puzzle pieces coming together at the right time, and we both were at rock bottom, and neither of us knew it.
Nah.
Because we didn't know anything about each other. She just knew I was the trainer that they referred to, and I just knew, hey, this is my first client. I got to show out.
Yeah.
So,
wow. That's beautiful. I didn't know that about you. I'm learning a lot here, see?
Are you going to learn a lot today?
So, Rich, how did you get into the fitness game? Like, what inspired you to become a fitness instructor?
Well, training in itself, my dad had me in karate when I was 6 years old. So, one of his best friends told him, hey, listen, you want to start helping your son get self-discipline. I know you have him going to Catholic school right now, but he needs to get that self-discipline. Go to Brigantine out in New Jersey. There's a master instructor named Joe Diamond who works at 21st Century. So I started with karate. Karate got me prepared to not be afraid of getting hit. It taught me a lot of self-discipline and just having that mindset of, no matter what, I'm going to learn, I'm going to grow, I'm going to get stronger and better. So from that, I started football. And with football, football requires a level of dedication,
Yeah.
Even in Little League, I played for the Atlantic City Dolphins, so I wasn't training per se with weight room, but on the field, push-ups, calisthenics, burpees, squats, all that stuff applied. So once it was time to get to high school, I went to St. Joe's in Hamilton, powerhouse school, powerlifting. We're known for state championships. There is when the roots started with my training and just getting a love and a passion for lifting weights, understanding what a powerlifting program is.
Right.
So, that's how it started for me.
Wow.
And, I picked up the weights one time, and then after that, just to see how far ahead I excelled amongst my peers, it let me know that this wasn't just me, this was a gift from God.
Yeah, definitely. I know the level of commitment to this is tough. You guys, if y'all don't know, they brought my sexy back. I don't know if y'all seen me lately.
Big sexy!
They brought my sexy back, but just the commitment as a client is tough. So I know the commitment of an instructor is even tougher. And for you to be doing it so long, that's remarkable. G, same question. We know you wanted, but what was your thought process of getting into fitness?
So my past history, I was a nurse. I mean, I still am a nurse. I'm still licensed. I love science. I love how the body works. Mm-hmm. And that's what got me into nursing.
Oh,
so, but I wasn't happy. I mean, I was making good money.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't happy. There would be nights I'd come home, driving home, I'd be so stressed, I was crying, and I had to be up in, 3 to 4 hours to do it all over again. Right. So I got sick and tired of just living in the same routine over and over again. And once I started training, I felt this spark inside of me, wow, this feels good. I'm like, I can make other people feel like this. I think I could. And I told him that. I'm like, look, I want to step on stage. I want to do a bikini show. I told him.
First week.
Oh, wow.
And I think I might want to pursue this personal training thing. I think I can do it. He was like, whoa, slow down. Let's just continue training. We'll see what happens down the line. Yeah. I'm like, I don't like when people doubt me or like, I don't know. I proved them wrong. Anyways. But yeah, I got into it because, you know, the impact that we get to make, you know, with other people, that's like the most rewarding part of it, you know. Yeah. The income is awesome, but the impact that we make it surpasses it, you know.
Right.
Watching somebody transform right before your eyes.
Yeah.
Like with nursing, I would be next to somebody and watch them, you know, in their last days. And you can't do nothing about it. Yeah, you can comfort them and stuff like that. But as trainers, we get to be a part of their life where you get to meet them in the beginning or in the middle of their lifetime.
Right.
Where you can have an impact that they don't have to have such a bad ending. You get me?
Yeah.
So, you know, that's why we emphasize nutrition and just living an overall healthy lifestyle, mentally, physically, spiritually, just attacking the body as a whole. Yeah. So, that's why I got into it. And, you know, thank God and praise God that it's been a full year without nursing. You know?
Wow.
Took that leap.
I took that leap, and it's been a full year without nursing. I've been doing this around the clock, and I love it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know you're a nutritionist too, right?
I'm not a nutritionist. So a nutritionist is like a doctor.
Okay.
I'm not a doctor. I am NASM certified with nutrition. So I am a nutrition coach. I just got certified for that too as well.
Okay.
So with as a nutrition coach, I can help people on a day-to-day basis, you know, what choices to make with nutrition. You know, what do you look for in a nutrition label? How do you shop at a store? What do you avoid? So stuff like that. So I do the coaching, and then I help them with plans as well. So
okay,
yeah.
So we know people usually think if you work out you're good, but that's not the case. It's about what you eat too, right?
Oh, for
Can
sure.
you either one of you explain that? Because I know that was my problem. I thought maybe, you know, if I hit some weight, I can eat what I want. I'm good. It evens out. But that's not the case. Can you explain why?
It's pretty much taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back each time, or 1 step forward and 2 steps back.
There you go.
Nutrition is king. And a lot of times, just like you said as yourself, when we as members come in, we're already coming into the mindset of it, or I want to eventually make this a lifestyle change, but I need to see some stuff happen quickly.
Right.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work my tail off, but I'm going to leave the nutrition as is. Maybe clean up a couple things, but not go 100% and give that same effort that I do in the gym. What happens is once you get into about 2 months and we don't see any changes, we're going to sit you down and go over this and say, hey, listen, this is your second in-body scan. Your body fat percentage is still the same. You haven't put on any muscle. Your weight may fluctuate up and down, but that's not the biggest point. What it is that your nutrition, you need to get on that. You need to make that king. You need to start prioritizing where you're meal prepping throughout the week. And a lot of times the number one excuse that we get is, I don't have the time. Well, last time I checked, if you really want something, you're going to make the time.
Exactly.
You have 24 hours in a day, just like I do, just like my wife does.
Right.
So there's no excuse.
Right. That is, that was me. Yeah, and I know even with quarantine, I talked to Rich about it. I had the pinched nerve, and then it gets to the point where everything just hitting you, and you just I ain't got time, but you do got time,
right?
You know, you and it is true because if you do really want something, you will make time for it.
Okay.
You know, you'll get up early in the morning, you'll stay up late at night to get what you got done. I know I'm up all night doing what I got to do because I love it.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And if I want my health, I believe when I first came here, I told y'all about the fatty liver I had and laying in the hospital, first serious injury I ever had in my life. And, it scared me, scared my family. Wife was crying, nobody knew what was wrong with me. My mom crying. And, when I first came here, I believe I told you I wanted to make that change. And it became important to me. You know what I mean? So for those of you who are listening, if it's important to you, you will make that change. Trust me. Don't wait till something's wrong before you make that decision. Get it early. Get in here, get your body right, and you'll be okay. Speaking of the body, what part of the body fascinates you the most? Either one of you.
You want to start?
Training my white boots, I tell you. That's fascinating in itself. Can I shout about it? No, but all seriousness, the body itself is a fascinating machine in itself, but it starts with the mind. Because the body goes where the mind tells it to. So if you're constantly doubting yourself, you won't really know what your body is capable of until you get in that mindset where you have to push through the pain. On the flip side of that, in terms of the body, the most fascinating thing about it is we have the power to create it however we want to. Not saying that we all want to go on stage and look like Arnold or Ronnie Coleman or Dexter Jackson or any of the top female bikini professionals, but the body that you want, you can get. You can get it.
Yeah.
Age, throw it out the window. Okay? We had our first two competitors, both above the age of 40, stepped on stage and they looked like they were 25.
Wow.
So don't tell me that it's the age.
Yeah.
The body is a fascinating thing, but we just have to get it up here to create and manifest and be that architect, because we all have the power to do it, all of us.
Wow. G, same question. What part of the body fascinates you the most?
Fascinates you the most? I mean, they call me the life destroyer. I'm really good at training legs and coming up with good routine for hammies, quads, and especially glutes. After I had my son, I made it a point to use myself as a guinea pig and really aim to develop my legs, especially my glutes. During my last prep, my bikini prep, I lost my glutes because I did so much running that I lost a lot of muscle. So for this prep, I've been focusing on training legs at least 3 times a week. My legs look completely different from what they did the first time around.
Okay.
My
Glutes, they look much rounder. The development overall looks awesome. So I use myself as a guinea pig before I, push it onto any client. So I love for those females that are looking to develop their legs and develop their nice toned glutes, because having a fat butt means it doesn't all mean that it's all muscle. It could mean that it's all fat.
Right.
So
they look good, but they might not train good.
So my goal was to have a nice shaped, formed glute, not a fatty glute. So I've been trying to really master my craft when it comes to that, because we do have a lot of females here. So
yeah, I'm glad you said legs because I see a lot of people that skip leg days.
Oh, for sure.
They big up top and
it's very, very uncomfortable.
Yeah, they look frail and fragile at the bottom, and I'm like, yes, they not.
But this goes for men too. Women don't like flat butts.
Yeah.
I mean, I thank God for my husband's glutes every day.
My wife, she does that. I don't know how I feel about her smacking my behind, but she don't care. She does it anyway.
Yeah.
So she, when we was working out and I was getting it tight, she hit him like, that. Yeah. So Well, listen. How important is to work out the right way? We know. I believe you said in the beginning you didn't know when you first met Rich, you didn't know what to do or get on, and you go into different type of gyms, you just see people doing any type of things, or they got a lot of viral videos of people using machines wrong or things like that. But can you let us know, Rich, how important it is to work out the correct way?
Well, longevity. That's the name of the game, man. We want to be doing this 60, 70 years old, so form. The most important thing is having the right form. If you have wrong form, you're going to get hurt.
Yeah.
If you have wrong form with heavy weight, you're going to get really bad hurt. Hurt bad. So the main thing that we practice in here is form. Nutrition, then we work our way down to training. When you're training, you want to make sure that if you don't know what you're doing, you need to get a personal trainer. Okay, throw the ego to the side, especially the guys too. You get guys that are willing to learn, and it always works out well with us. The relationship, the chemistry's there because they're eager to learn. They want to know. They know they don't know everything. But the guys that feel like they know it all and go to the gym, if they don't have the right form and they're lifting heavy weight, trying to ego lift, this is the quickest way that you're more susceptible to getting injured. And surgeries or common issues that keep coming up, whether it be your rotator cuff, your knees start bothering you, your elbows because you're doing skull crushers too hard or too heavy. So those things add up over time. Form. You want longevity in the game, you got to know how to practice good technique.
I'm glad you said ego lifting because that's a real thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I fell into that pit quite a few times. I'm like, I'm going to just come in here, get on this treadmill.
Yeah.
Then you see the brothers over there I'm like, let me go over here and show them what I can do.
Right.
And you get hurt sometimes because you ain't.
Absolutely. It's levels to this bodybuilding. And because at the end of the day, that's what you're trying to do. If you're trying to sculpt your body and have it look a certain way, you right then have just became a bodybuilder. You don't need to be a professional. You don't got to go on stage with a G-string that have the title bodybuilder.
Yeah.
You are a bodybuilder from the minute that you start picking up weights and say, I want to look like this. I want to sculpt my body. I want to get bigger arms, bigger back. You now are a bodybuilder. Don't be a dumb bodybuilder. Be a smart bodybuilder. How do you do that? You got to master your craft and start with the basics. Compound movements, squats, bench press, deadlift, basic curls. Then from there, that's when you start adding accessory movements in. But if you don't have those compound foundation movements correctly, you're more susceptible to getting injured. And that's something that they preach when I was at St. Joe's doing for high school.
Okay.
Compound movements. You got to know the basics. Deadlifts, squats, bench press, pull-ups, you can throw that in there too. But bench, squat, deads, those three, everything else branches from that.
Okay, cool. And another way I know that you could, help your body out is by coming to FitX Training Studios right here in Millville, New Jersey on High Street. Come check them out. Listen, we're going to take a quick commercial break real quick. So listen, we have another sponsor, Claybrook's Maintenance, LLC, for removal service like construction, demolition, dirt, rocks, sheet metal, trash removal. For more, call Claybrook's Maintenance, LLC at 856-332-6581, serving the New Jersey, Delaware, and Pennsylvania area. Ask about our sanitation service as well. That's Claybrook's Maintenance, LLC. So now we want to get into the faith part. So, Rich, we'll start with you. Your walk with Christ, how did that begin?
My own personal relationship with Christ began when I was 22.
Okay.
When I unexpectedly lost my mother going into a new year.
Oh, wow. Sorry to hear that.
Thank you. That's when I would say I really started to seek him. I grew up church home.
Mm-hmm.
My mother and father were both Baptists.
Okay.
We switched over to a Pentecostal church. So I've always knew who God was.
Right.
But this is something that I tell our members anytime I get to talk to them on that level, when God presents that opportunity. It's not so much about if your father was a pastor, if you grew up in the church. It's more so about building up your own relationship with Christ and knowing who He is in your life and having that own personal experience and revelation with Him.
Right.
So my walk started during the toughest time of my life, when I didn't have any answers and I didn't understand why this happened to me. That's when I started seeking Him. And He didn't give them to me right away, but over time I could look back and connect the dots and see that my mother was always praying over me, always anointing me with holy oil, always just wanting me to know who God was for myself.
Right.
So fast forward to today, it's one of the worst things, but also one of the best things that God blessed me with. So yeah, that's how my walk started.
That's crazy, because it seemed like my story, far as growing up in church. And I remember my mom, I'm not too old, it came back when my mom used to come in our room, me and my brothers, and put oil on our head and pray for us, and mash our heads all in the pillows and stuff. And I think and in my I grew up singing in church and all that, and it wasn't until 21 where I kind of rededicated my life to Christ. And so it's funny you said that, like your 20s and all that stuff start coming back to you, because that's about the time. and it happened. Well, my wife, she was my girlfriend at the time. She was pregnant with our first child when I was 20. I turned 21, and we had my daughter a month later, and changed everything. Rededicated my life to Christ, got my act together, became a comedian. So after that, doors start opening and things like that. So that's it's crazy how stuff come in full circle like that. How did your walk begin with Christ?
It began when I was 15.
Okay.
I started going to church, and I got baptized. I was actively, in church for like 3 years, and then I left the church. I was going through youth, so I just left everything. And then when I started up, a couple years down the line, when I started up with personal training, there you have a man who's God-fearing and who's always in your ear talking to you about, Christ, and you're like, wow, is this really happening? I'm like, there's actually a man that, is actually, in the right steps with Christ. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, well, let me give this another shot. Because for a while, I used to question God a lot, like, why did I went through the stuff that I went through? And I was sort of like, I took it out on God in a way. Like, how, I dedicated my life to you. How can you let me go through this,
Right.
So,
right.
But yeah, when I met him, I rededicated myself to Christ. And it's just seeing God work ever since, I'm telling you, like, ever since him and I, formed our friendship and seen each other grow, not only in everyday life, but in with Christ as well, and it just seeing God work in our favor, day after day, year after year, and just seeing how He's just bringing all the puzzle pieces together. It's just amazing to watch.
Right. I don't know, for those of you listening, I like how when they talk about each other, their faces light up. When he talk about her, she talk about him, their faces light up. That's beautiful. That's a great marriage, and you can tell the friendship started first because you actually like each other. I like that.
Appreciate it, brother.
But yeah, G, you said something about God, we go through things, and why. I know a lot of us go through stuff like that. Even to this day, sometimes, no matter how strong our faith is, sometimes we might be like, I don't see that. But, down the years, The Bible says his thoughts are not our thoughts, his ways are not our ways. And sometimes through the years, we start to see why he blocked certain things or he had us go through certain stuff. Because we could have been in a world of trouble if he would allow that to happen. So sometimes you just gotta sit back and be like, "Thank you, Lord."
Well, no, definitely. I do look back and like everything that I've gone through, and I'm pretty sure everything that Rich has gone through, the hard times, we're able to help our clients going through similar situations. Like, oh, so that's why I went through this, because I was going to be of service to someone else down the line. I didn't see it, at the time, but definitely now, I'm more mature, and I love connecting the dots. I'm like, okay, I went through this because so and so needed me now.
Okay.
So
tell me, what are some obstacles you had to face dealing with your faith?
Patience.
That's a big one. Patience.
Learning to wait on God. So oftentimes we just want to go and not think and just do. And believe me, I had my fair share of just doing and not thinking and slapping me right in the face.
Right.
So I've definitely learned from my previous mistakes, and I'm pretty sure Rich has learned from his, but definitely patience and learning to wait on God. Like, I know now when we want something so bad, we pump our brakes, we pray about it, and we know if it's God knocking on the door, we know that He will lay everything out for us, and that when you have no doubt it's God. So
you ain't gonna have a lot of options.
Yeah.
We were just talking about this yesterday.
Yeah, we were.
But just to piggyback off my wife, for me, it's really walking by faith. And I think that's a cliche that a lot of people tend to use. Well, you just got to walk by faith, not by sight.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, especially, and we saw this last year with the country, the state of the country, that the state we were in, we just had a newborn a week after, a week before everything was closed.
Wow.
Then our business closed. All commercial gyms around us are closing. So these things, when they start talking about walk by faith, until you actually walk with God, that's when you'll learn how to walk by faith. You can't do it on your own. So what I mean by that is a lot of times, there were times where we didn't know how we were going to be able to pay rent in here.
Yeah.
We've had months like that. On top of that, just staying afloat here, especially when we first started, us getting a new home, us staying here instead of leaving here, transitioning to another business in another building. These are the things where it's just like, man, God will take you all the way to that edge where no option. You can't turn back. You got to take that leap because He already has His wings behind you.
Right.
But you have to be willing to get pushed there. And God's timing, it's almost like He laughs. Especially when you have your own plans.
Yeah.
They say you want to make God laugh, tell Him your plans in life.
Yeah.
Because that stuff gets knocked out. Then you got to learn how to surrender, be obedient, and walk by faith.
Yeah.
No matter what your circumstances look like at all.
Yeah, you definitely gotta walk by faith. Being a Christian is people think it's just a cakewalk. It's not a cakewalk. You're constantly being tested.
Constantly.
And just to show your love. I remember I wrote a skit for my church. It was a monologue a couple years ago, and what I was basically saying is, we all claim to love God until it's time to love Him. We claim to trust Him until it's time to trust Him. So it's easy to say, but it's harder to do. And like you said, with the pandemic coming, even for me, comedy shut down. I couldn't do no plays. I actually did a play that Saturday, and then I think that Monday or Tuesday the world shut down. They shut everything down, and it was like, how am I going to pay? For cars. I got cars. I got a house. I got kids. How am I going to keep afloat? Like, God, what is you going to do? And He brought me to the scripture where it says, I forget where it was, but he says, don't worry about what are you going to eat. Never worry about what are you going to drink or things like that. And reading that. And it's funny how God direct you to a scripture.
Yes.
Like you don't know where it's at, but he'll direct you right to a scripture.
That's right.
And, reading that, I just, all my faith just like, all right, God, I trust you. And, different businesses just boom, like my, custom apparel business just boom out of nowhere. Then virtual comedy started happening. So I was able to make a little money. Then I was able to do an outdoor play, make a little money then. So just fully trying to trust in God. Like I'm not talking to y'all like it's easy because it's hard. All of us can testify to that. But when you put your trust in God, like you said, he'll lay it out for you, where you got no other, like, I ain't never thought I was going to be doing a podcast show or doing custom apparel or things like that. Like my avenue is entertainment. Like that's what I do, comedy, plays, whatever. But God will make a way. And just like he made a way for y'all, he made a way for the people that's listening. Just keep the faith and everything will work out. So we'll go on to the next question. How does your faith life and fitness life connect?
Well, I'm pretty sure you can, testify to this too.
Yeah.
When you walk in here, the atmosphere is like crazy different.
Yeah.
This is not your typical studio/gym. You don't come here just to work out. There's an atmosphere here.
Right.
And
that's a great word, atmosphere. Yeah.
I can be training clients and I can feel the Spirit of God. And we play worship music in here. We're not afraid to show what we believe in, who we love, because God is the one who brought us here. He's the one who supplied our every need. So we play our worship music, and sometimes clients leave here and they feel like this relief, and it's amazing when they come up to us. Wow, that was exactly what I needed. You don't know the type of day I had,
right.
So it's the atmosphere. I feel it when I'm training. I get into this mindset, and it's just me pouring out to God and me working on myself, my mental state. It's just it's all.
Yeah, atmosphere. I like that. That's a great word, atmosphere, when you come in here. Rich, same question. How does your fitness life and faith life connect?
Well, I would say for the world, a lot of times when people go to the gym, it's to relieve something. Scientifically speaking, when you go to the gym, you burn calories and you lift weights, you're releasing endorphins, things that make you feel better about yourself. So a lot of times when people go to the gym, they don't even understand why afterwards they feel so good.
Yeah.
It's all the chemicals being released. Not to mention from a mental aspect, in order to put faith and fitness together, obviously you need to believe.
Right.
So if you have faith, you have to believe in something. Fitness, you have to believe in yourself. Those two intertwine together. If you don't believe in yourself, there's no way you can tap into that other side where now the faith kicks in, where the dedication drives you even when you don't feel like doing it. And that's a whole nother thing I can get into, but faith and fitness go hand in hand.
Yeah.
In order for you to come in here, you have to believe that you can do it.
Yeah.
You have to. And there's so many times that we get people that don't believe in their self, but they get in here and feel that atmosphere. It gives them that push, that spark, that spiritual awakening that they need to, okay, they believe in me more than I believe in myself.
Right.
I got to start believing in me. I got other people believing in me more than I believe in myself when I look in the mirror. I need to start believing in myself. And that's where the faith and fitness go hand in hand. And then before you know it, now they're starting to actually listen to the words that are being played with the music. Before, maybe it's not something that they're even listening to. Or they may feel a little bit offended by it, but they're not saying anything.
Yeah.
But, God will reveal himself in due time to everyone.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it goes hand in hand.
Yeah, you guys do have a remarkable atmosphere in here. I can tell because people don't want to leave when they're done.
All the time.
Nobody ever wants to leave.
All the time. Babe, we're gonna finish on time tonight, okay? And then it's always like this. Our 7 o'clock group is like there are veterans, so. Before COVID, yeah, we could hang out and stuff like that. But now it's like, okay, guys, you need to get out because there's a group waiting after you guys. They don't care.
It's like the lounge spot.
Yeah, they want to see and talk to everybody. So,
yeah, it get like that sometimes. You know, you just, you get around like-minded people, and start the fellowship, and it goes on and on. But I had to stop listening to gospel music on the treadmill because, when you get in that spirit, and I almost failed a couple times, so I had to, I had to listen to my ratchet music on the treadmill. I listen to that Shirley Caesar,
Yeah, I hear you.
But listen, I'm going to end with this question. It's a pretty tough question. You can answer it or not, but which is stronger, your faith or your bicep?
I can say hands down my biceps, baby.
Okay.
Right now it might be my faith because I leaned out. I got down to 6% body fat. So, but yeah, catch me at 230.
Okay,
for sure, hands down. 21s.
G, your faith or your bicep?
Don't let her fool you. She got some big biceps.
Yeah, like my arms don't look like they belong to me.
She got some big arms, making the guys look bad.
Yeah, mine a little bit even,
Yeah. You got perfect symmetry over there, huh?
Yeah, it is what it is. But listen, before we close out, just let the people know, what's next. What a little bit more about your gym, your beautiful website that you just had up for like a month or two now. So let the people know more about you and how they can stay connected with both of you guys and also the FitX Gym Gotta Grow.
Okay, so Rich and myself, Rich, and also my wife, we're head trainers, owners here at the studio. We have 4 instructors underneath of us. We have 3 instructors, Javon, Isaiah, and also Maria. Okay. We are a functional training program, which means that we do everything. This is a one-stop shop. So whether you're looking to build size, you're trying to cut fat, cardio, endurance, we train bodybuilders, NPC bikini competitors. We do it all. Nutrition, meal preps, coaching, everything gets done here. Millville, New Jersey, 1601 North High Street, right next to the Anytime Fitness Gym and the Wheaton Plaza section. Our website, and we were trying to go back and forth with this, it's www.thewhites, our last name, it's a dash. GottaGrow.com. So not a hyphen, not an underscore, www.thewhites-gottagrow.com. Right. We sell our merch on there. We have all our information regarding pricing.
And that's Gotta Grow, Gotta, not got to.
Yes.
Gotta.
G-O-T-T-A. Got to grow. GottaGrow.com. Apparel on there if you guys like any of the apparel that we have, everything's up there. The unlimited team training schedules there as well. We have our pricing breakdown for that, for all of our meal preps that we offer in terms of what type of macronutrient meal plan that you want, and also our bikini preps. We have 3 girls stepping on stage in March.
Wow.
And for those of you that don't know, bikini preps, bodybuilding preps, this is the elite of the elite. 1% of people in the world step on stage and take it to that level when it comes to fitness. It's an extreme level. It requires a lot of dedication. And we have all the tools necessary that you need, whether it be your prep coach, your actual trainer, and your meal preps, the posing, the bikinis, outfits, everything. It's all here at the studio.
Nice. And you get a great atmosphere too. Don't forget the atmosphere. G, you want to add anything?
If you guys want to find me, I am at Instagram, watchmegrow_219.
That's right.
Facebook, Yisell White.
That's what
Yisell.
Or G. Don't mess the name up.
They call me G because
they don't know how to pronounce a name.
All right.
And also the business page for Instagram, FitX_training_studio_Millville.
Okay.
That's the business page for the Facebook or Instagram. Facebook's the same. My personal account for Instagram is rich_it_hurts.
Got it. Y'all got that information? If not, just rewind it and listen to it again. And I want to thank the Whites for being on the show today. Had a great conversation, man. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you for having me.
And that's our show for the day, you guys. Remember to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Check out my website, chrisclarkcomedy.com. Sign up for the newsletter. Y'all stay safe and remember, God is love. All right? Peace.